20 Minutes Till Dawn is an amazing game. Honestly, one of the best beginner-friendly games I could ever ask for when going into a bullet hell. I'm going to put the gameplay of me playing it as well as the OST and the name down below in the description and into the video. This is a phenomenal indie title. I think it's probably one of the best bullet hells you could ever ask for, especially if you move it up to Vampire Survivor. I would actually rate this near Vampire Survivor level. The game is phenomenal because of the basic at the fundamentals of the game, it makes a bullet hell enjoyable to actually play. The only downfall being, which we'll get into a little bit later, is the challenges. The challenges being very easy to do. They're not even challenges. They're just jokes, realistically. And mind you, doing challenges don't actually unlock you anything in this game, which I will put that as recommendations towards a little bit later. Now, I'll also talk about the characters, the weapons, the runes, they call it, which is skill points, and the money currency later on, and I'll show you guys what that all is. So looking at the game right now, we see that we have the XP bar at the very top, very easy to read. To the right, we see survive, which is the time limit that we have, which is around 20 minutes. And then you have the ammo on your hit marker, on your reticule, the reticule there, as well as the bullets on the top left, which is below your hearts, which is how many times you can actually get hit. Now, if you guys don't know what a bullet hell is, you practically pick a character. The character has a unique ability, and that usually gets paired with a weapon. But in this case, in 20 Minutes Till Dawn, you actually get to choose your weapon, each weapon having a different gameplay mechanic as well as the character. So for example, in this gameplay, this character, every time you reload, does a black hole. Every time you reload, sucking enemies towards it and trapping them there and doing a little bit of damage. Where if you reload the sword, which is I believe the cyclone sword, you do a little twirl around you that does consistent damage over time, and it is a phenomenal matchup. Now, there are better matchups than this. I can't remember the character's name, but we'll get into it a little bit later. Getting into this game, it was released in the 8th of June in 2023, which is an amazing release. I cannot tell you guys enough how good of a release this game had on the audience that it already has, because this game was in early access and it shows you what truly an early access title should be like. They took all the criticism. It was in early access for about a year, 1 year to 2 years. They took all the criticism and they said, all right guys, you guys don't like this sort of element of the game, we're gonna fix this up. You think the progression's a little bit slow, we're gonna fix this up. They took everything and they made it better. The core of this game is really good. The dev support is amazing and they listen to the community, and I've actually never had any glitches, never any issues, and it's pretty hard to have glitches in a bullet hell game. I've played a lot of janky bullet hells and I've synced about 15 hours into this, which is more than enough, but I've played Vampire Survivor, I've played Goobies, Survive.io on the phone just to try that out, and I've synced a lot of time into this. I think it's like Goobies, I don't know, it's on Steam, you can look it up. I'll probably chuck it on the side of this video, who knows. Anyways, getting into the game is very good for an opener of any bullet hell. If you are new, I would highly recommend this game. It goes for around $7.50 AUD on Steam. I got it on sale for $6.50, but it is a steal even for $7, by the way. It is so good. Oh my god, I love this game. I actually love it, and I hope the devs keep going on and keep developing this game. So there are a lot of complaints that I do have, and there are a lot of benefits for positives to actually play this game. I don't know what's happening. Long day at work. So starting off, the positives, this game is really super easy to understand, super easy to unlock all the characters, super easy to unlock all the weapons. The maps are a joke, but they're very easy to understand. So the map that I'm playing in is Forest. There's another one that's called Temple, which is probably the hardest map, but only because it's I'll say it, bullshit mechanics. They just have suicide explosive bombers. That's not difficult, that's just annoying. And then you've got the temple, I think it's called Pumpkin Patch. I can't really remember. I'll show you guys a little bit later. Pumpkin Patch being the horizontal. I hope that later on in the future they actually do release more things, such as like a vertical map, like a zigzag map, like something interesting to make the character think a little bit more. It's a little bit boring playing the game at the moment once you play it for so long and played other bullet hells. Another positive is the weapons. The weapon system in this game is super easy to understand. It's super good, and they're all fun and unique. The key being they're all unique. The unique playstyle of the weapons is phenomenal. Like, they're all so fun to play with. The other positive being the characters. Each character has the best like, if you grabbed I don't even know how to explain this, like Overwatch characters and their designs, they're so boring compared to these characters. These characters are so fun to play because they're so unique and so different. Actually, you know what, scrap that. Overwatch has some pretty good character design. I don't even know where I'm going on. I just know that the character designs are very fucking good. Okay, when I mean design, I mean the kits of the characters. So you can actually identify a character in game because each character has white hair and they always have something red on them. As you guys can see, this one has like a red skirt and like a white ponytail and a fringe, I believe. And they're all female characters, so there are no male characters, at least for now. I'm not too sure what the devs are planning to do. And the bosses are pretty fun to verse, I guess. The bosses are a little bit of a joke. If you played any other bullet hell games, like even if you're new to bullet hell games, they're just jokes and jokes. They're not hard at all. Secondly, the perk system, very easy to understand. You have bullet projectile increase, bullet damage, bullet size, bullet speed, and execution damage. Very simple to understand. Elementals, you have ice, lightning, and fire. Ice being they freeze them, fire being they do damage over time, lightning being they do AoE damage every time you hit. For example, the one is when I have that little holy shield up, it will lightning strike people, or every time you use 2 bullets, it will lightning strike people. Very easy concept. Another thing is I'm trying to think of it, is Curse. Curse being a unique thing to this game. I've never seen it, but if you guys have played League of Legends, it's sort of like Yone's E or Zed's ult. They apply a mark, dealing like amplifying your damage, I believe. It amplifies your damage, and at a set timer, it will explode all that damage into one big shot, which is pretty fucking good for late game, especially if you're scaling and doing the endless mode. Another thing being each perk can hit a final form as well as hitting mastery. Now, I don't want to ruin how you actually get that in case you guys do want to play the game, so you guys can figure that one out on your own. Now, another big thing is every weapon has 3 variants that you just saw pop up on the gameplay once your character actually hits level 20, adding on to like some of the best combos you can have ever asked for. So this one's the Doom Scythe, my favorite being the Wind Katana, all damage scales with movement speed, and there is so much movement speed options in this game. It's so much fun. I just can't stress this enough how amazing it is. Now, I don't want to bore you guys. This is a very different gameplay, like a game review, and I'm going to be doing many game reviews, so if you guys want to let me know how I can actually improve these reviews, this would be amazing. So I'm trying my very best. Now, getting into the cons. The cons of this game is it's extremely very dull. It's very basic. It's just got nothing exciting to play for. You unlock the characters within maybe an hour. You unlock the other weapons within another hour of playing the game. So that's 2 hours gone. You've unlocked all the content, you've unlocked all the maps, and from there it's just about how much you actually like the game. And honestly, I think this game does keep you in there if you're a bullet hell survivor, if you're a bullet hell player, sorry, but yeah, if you're a survivor as well, because there is an endless mode. But the only thing that I could say that keeps you wanting to play is a difficulty increase, which is 1 to 15, which I'll show you guys a little bit later, and upgrading the skill tree. Other than that, if you're a casual Andy, you're gonna play this game here and there. It's pretty good for you. If you're a hardcore bullet hell fan, I would still say this is a steal. Pick it up, but keep note that you are going to be waiting for updates once this game keeps getting updated. It is pretty easy. You know, let's be real. There's some people out there that are no lives. They're gonna finish this game within like 20 hours. The challenges are jokes. One is don't get hit. I'll quickly show that on screen. I got that one. Win the game without like a pacifist run without actually clicking left click. That's a joke. There's not many challenges in this game. One thing I'm just going to wrap this part up now. I think that's pretty much all you can go for with a bullet hell. I would actually rate this game a 8 out of 10 in accessibility, like because of accessibility, the basics, the fundamentals and the core gameplay of this game is absolutely amazing, and I fully recommend it. It is an amazing bullet hell game. Now, this section is just going to be for the dev. It's going to be really quick, maybe even 30 seconds. Dev, add a new map. If you need money to make more characters, do a DLC drop. Make it at least $2, $3. People will buy it. This game deserves to be loved. This is how you do it. Do challenges. Do challenges and add more unique bosses that are actually enjoyable to verse, that aren't boring. And yes, I did die. All right, moving on. All right, so we're going to talk about the characters now, the runes and the skill tree. So what we have first here is we have Shannon, which is pretty much the basic character. She can re-roll upgrades once per level. You've got Diamond, which gives you more health. You've got Scarlet, which every third shot sends out a flamethrower-esque ability. We've got Hana, which does clones. We've got Spark, which does lightning. We've got Lilith, which summons bats, which is probably the strongest character in the game. She summons a skull every time you kill someone. We've got Raven, which summons a crow that inflicts curse. We've also got Huster, that summons tentacles, which is extremely broken. We have Dasher, which turns into a deer every 10 seconds and is invincible, and does massive amounts of damage. It's ridiculous, and it scales with movement speed and summoner damage. You've got Luna, which in the gameplay, every time you reload, creates a black hole. You've got Yuki, which every 6 shots shoots out a frost butterfly, which actually freezes people. Really strong character. We also have Abby, which is a right-click menace, turns into a tornado and instantly sprays out all of your ammo. So the runes are really basic. You've got level 1, level 5, level 10, level 15, and those mean how many points you have to put in previously to unlock the next skill tree. So obviously level 15 is the most advanced ones that help you the most. I'm not going to go too in depth with this. You guys can read it into yourselves. Practically, sword meaning damage and offensive, shield meaning defensive and things to help you survive. So we've got, for example, we have power, which is very basic. Increase bullet damage and summoner damage by 2% per level. You can max them up to 5. It also costs the currency. Now, to get currency, we actually have to just play the game. Playing the game gets you a lot of currency. It's very easy. You've got things like reload speed, fire speed. You've got things like vision and pickup rate. You've got things that summon wards, which are like little rocks that float around you and pushes enemies back, which is quite useful. Sometimes you've got blessing, which is the holy shield, which allows you to tank 1 damage. And yeah, we'll move on from that. Then we've got the weapons. Once you click on your character that you want to play, you've got the revolver, which is pretty balanced. You can also see the stats up above. I won't go through that. We've got the shotguns, which shoots little pellets. You've got the crossbow, which has 1 bullet, really cool. You've got the flamethrower, which obviously shoots flames. You've got the dual SMG, which has 2 guns, very strong, especially if you're going for status effect runs. You've got the bat gun, which summons, very strong if you're partnering it up with Lilith or any other summoner character, and it also scales with bullet damage and summoning damage. You've got the water gun, which is probably one of the most unique weapons, which you have a spore that shoots, floats around you, and you feed the spore with bullets, which makes the spore shoot out balls of ass. You've got the knife, which is really cool. It automatically tracks the enemies and you throw it. You've got the cyclone sword, we've already talked about that. We've got the bow, which every time you shoot it and then you reload, the arrows come back to you, which is really cool, and also deal damage. And then you've got the grenade launcher. So now that we're done with explaining all that, I understand I went through that pretty quickly, but this game, I will say, is 10 out of 10. I also want to tell the dev that he's doing an amazing job, and I really do recommend people get this game. Like I said before, this is an 8 out of 10 game. Yeah, and until next time, oh, bye-bye!